Okay, so we're still in the Schnucks Culinaria parking garage, which is a wonderful, safe garage in downtown St. Louis. It's also the most expensive place to park in downtown St. Louis. This building used to be where the Century building used to stand, and that was torn down amidst much controversy and objection by some of the local, I think they're called Vanishing St. Louis people. But I believe in history and architecture, but I also believe in change for the better, especially if it's a dangerous building. Hi, how you doing? Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. So I've decided to take it upon myself to show everybody what I've been talking about when I get on my soapbox and vent about why downtown St. Louis is the place to be, why it is the place to work, why it is the place to live, and why people should actually come and visit this place. Because it's lovely, it's beautiful. There's bars, there's restaurants. The architecture is actually beautiful. The people, they're beautiful too. They're also very friendly. The sun always shines in downtown St. Louis is what I would say. There's the urgent care facility, world famous urgent care, downtown St. Louis. On your left here, we have the Schnucks Culinaria, which is our wonderful metropolitan grocery store. You want to grab some bags of chips before the ball game? I didn't really say that. I don't know if they let it in, unless they find it in your bag. On the left here is the old post office. We're at 8th and Pine, where there's a Metrolink. This is the AT&T building, also known as the new building, even though it's like 20-something years old. And it has a bridge connecting it to the old building, the old AT&T building. There's 8,000 people who work in the AT&T buildings, and they find it a great place to work. A lot of them live here too. A lot of local conveniences. You never have to leave downtown. This is the Omni Hotel on the right. I should know. That's the St. Louis Library over there, which undergoing some rehab, which should open next year. It should be the most futuristic library you'll find in St. Louis. On the left here is the Soldiers Memorial. It's a memorial and military museum. The interior east and west wings contain display cases with military displays and memorabilia from World War I and subsequent American wars. Dedicated by FDR in '36, officially opened to the public on Memorial Day 1938. And a lot of events happen here. One of the big events that I've been part of when we have a first aid station is the Moonlight Ramble, the 10,000 cyclists who come out and start riding at midnight every summer, usually mid-August sometime. It's a great fun family event. You see little toddlers at these things. It's one of the things that makes downtown St. Louis special, because everybody finds it a great place to congregate and meet each other. The St. Louis Union Station, the passenger train terminal in St. Louis, Missouri, once the world's largest and busiest train station. It was converted in the early 1980s into a luxury hotel, shopping center, and entertainment complex. The station opened on September 1st, 1894, and was owned by the Terminal Railroad Association of St. Louis. At its height, the station combined the St. Louis passenger services of 22 railroads, the most of any single terminal in the world. In the 1940s, it handled 100,000 passengers a day. As railroad passenger services declined in the 50s and 60s, the massive station became obsolete and too expensive to maintain for its original purpose. And it's making a big comeback. Next stop, the Opera House. This is the Opera House, the Peabody Opera House. And right down there, down that street, you can see the Scott Trade Center, where the Blues play. Where I've been to see the Blues. This is kind of the north end of City Hall, but we can do it from here, right? Let me talk to you a little bit about City Hall. It was acquired by the city about 1840 is also the year that penny black came out in England, the first postage stamp in the world. Anyway, and for many years it was used as a park called Washington Square. By 1890, municipal functions had outgrown the old city barn, as the old city hall at 11th and Chestnut was popularly known. Construction began on July 19, 1890, and was completed on November 5th, 1904. Wasn't that the World's Fair? I think it was. Okay, over here on the left is the Civil Courts Building. It's a landmark court building used by the 22nd Judicial Circuit Court of Missouri in St. Louis, Missouri. The building was part of an $87 million bond issue ratified by voters in 1923. The roof is made of cast aluminium, and is topped by two 12-foot-high sphinx-like structures, with the fleur-de-lis of St. Louis adorned on the chests of the sphinxes. Is the plural of sphinxes? Or maybe it's sphinx? Never mind. I'm saying there are sphinxes on top of the civil courts, not sphincters. It sure ain't the St. Louis it was 15 years ago. It's bigger and better. This is called City Garden, one of the recent additions to this area. My wife and I and our 3 children have been here quite a few times because it's a wonderful, refreshing place to be on a hot summer's day like today. It houses 24 pieces of sculpture by internationally renowned artists, including Ferdinand Ledger, Mark de Severo, Keith Haring, Martin Puryear, Jim Dine, Tony Smith. How did Tony Smith get in there? He's got a regular sounding name. And Aristide Maillol, as well as several water features and interactive installations. How many Tony Smiths do you think there are in the world? Anyway. Further east of City Garden, we see the famous Kina Plaza and the Morton D. May Amphitheater. This amphitheater commands a dramatic view of the old courthouse and the arch. I first noticed this Kina Plaza thing when I did a Tommy Hilfiger 10K. I think it was in the year 2000 or 2001 when I first met my wife and she got me into running, and I did this 10K and I said, oh wow, how appropriate to start in a place which has a statue of a runner. In front of this place is the old courthouse. It was a combination federal and state courthouse in St. Louis. It is now part of the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial. Most people call that the Arch. It is known for the 1846 Dred Scott case where he sued for his and his wife's freedom based on the fact that he lived in a free state and lost. And the 1872 Virginia minor case where she attempted to vote and was arrested, sued, and lost to the male-only voting rule. How much pride we have for these two wonderful cases, which demonstrated the archaic nature of the law at the time. I'm sure some people will say that about the law today. Look at that beautiful view of the ballpark. Busch Stadium, also referred to informally as the new Busch Stadium or Busch Stadium 3, is the home of the St. Louis Cardinals of Major League Baseball. The ballpark opened on April 4th, 2006. The stadium is the third stadium in St. Louis to carry the name Busch Stadium. The first Busch closed in 1966. The new stadium is designed to be retro classic and offers a panoramic view of the downtown skyline. Also, anyone in the downtown skyline gets a panoramic view of the Busch Stadium.